excited. We are very happy that we are going to share some things that can help us move forward as we start the year. And I'll start with a verse that I really love. And I used to read it when I was in high school, in the university, and across. And it comes from the Proverbs 24, 33 to 34. And the verse says, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of hands to rest. So shall your poverty come like a prowler, and your need is like an armed man. Proverbs 24, 33 to 34. And I love the topic. Starting strong. When this topic was shared with me, I remembered when I was a young boy, and every beginning of the year, we were going to a new school. And I remember my late mother telling us that, are you ready to join the new class? And this readiness or planning, it was coming with a list of things. And one of the things is my mother was checking whether the bag is okay, the shoes are fitting, and she could cross-check every single item before you go to school. And she was very interesting because she was starting like 2 weeks before the school starts. And that's how life was. That's how the planning was put in my head. And I'm happy that most of us are parents, and I know that we prepare well in advance. And this topic is very interesting, starting strong. The year is fresh, the year is new, and what we are going to plan as individuals, as families, as organizations, as churches, this is the results. These are the fruits we are going to see at the end of the year. And I like this topic, goal setting, especially setting smart goals. But before I even go to the real topic of goal setting, we can ask ourselves, why do people set goals? I was reading a story of these two countries that are really, really enjoying the fights. The Russians and Ukrainians. And I was reading some stories on how the Ukraine government started planning the war long time ago. I said, wow, these are army generals. And for us in our lives, especially for Christians, we are also army generals. Lazima tujipange. We have to plan ourselves. We have to set our goals very early. And some of the benefits that I have seen in goal setting is when you set a goal, it helps you to push you forward. Goal setting helps you to push you forward, whether you're a family, individual, your organization, because you have a plan. There's something that you need to do. Number two, goals. When you set goals, goals hold you accountable. You are accountable to yourself, and that's why it's important to share some of these goals. You're accountable to your colleagues, you're accountable to your spouse, you're accountable to your children. The other day I was saying that in our family, we need to be praying every day. And I have a very inquisitive girl. When you skip, she asks, hey, Daddy, you promised this. What's happening? You are skipping. So goals keeps you accountable. Number three, it's a measure of progress. Some of us, we are very good in setting up saving goals. And sometimes you do it the first 3 months, the first 4 months. The fifth one, we are forgetting. Yet, when we set that particular goal, it's a measure, it's a yardstick of progress. Number four, goal setting helps us to track our progress, whether it is in career, whether in families, whether individuals. Goal setting helps us to track our progress in life, and be it spiritual, it helps us to track. And then the last one, goal setting helps us to boost our motivation, our morale. When you have goals and you have pinned them right there, they help you to boost your energy. You are saying that there's something I am doing. There's a research that was shared, that I was reading about. And this research showed that those people who set specific challenging goals, 90% of them, they are likely to achieve higher performance. Can you imagine? 90% of these people, if you set your goals correctly, 90% likelihood that your performance will be higher compared to those who don't set any goal. There are many. In fact, I was saying that about 70% of Kenyan population have no goals. And the other 30% Out of that, another 70% don't follow up their goals. They are very good in setting, but they don't follow up. You try to ask people by October and ask them, hey, George Wachiuri, what's your goal what's your spiritual goal? They have forgotten because they wrote it, they forgot it, and very few, only 5% who follow their goal setting, their smart goal setting up to the end. And they say, when you set these specific goals, please don't kill yourself. The goal must be achievable. That goal must be measurable. That goal must be very specific. And tonight, we are going to discuss about specific goal setting. And of course, it must have time. It must be time bound. You cannot say that I'm going to lose weight for the next 90 years. No. Doesn't make sense. You say I'm going to lose a number of grams every 30 days. You can be able to measure, and it also must be realistic. It must be realistic. Right now, I don't expect Chris to set a goal that by the end of this year, I want to pass KCPE.
Oh, no way. Thank you.
You have passed that you have jumped that level. You are in another level. Unless now Chris says, by the next 3 years, I must have PhD in theology. Maybe. Let's be very specific. The types of goals that we are talking about. I'll be mixing between personal goals and family goals. And for me, this is what I've done. I'll share what I've done. I have classified my goals into 7 types. 7 types of goal setting, or 7 types of goals. And one of the major goals that I start with is the spiritual goals. The spiritual goals. And they say, if you set up a spiritual goal, they keep you focused on God, because at the end of the day, whether you will like it or not, we cannot be able to plan either short term or long term without involving our Father in heaven. So the spiritual goal keep you focused. They help you to manage yourself, manage your life, manage your stress, manage your anxiety. They say the people who pray, they are able to reduce their anxiety. Maybe you can say part of the spiritual goal that I'll be praying every evening. Or you can say I'll be praying for my children before they go to sleep. If you have this particular goal, you cannot be arriving in the house at midnight. The children are already asleep. So you cannot be able to achieve that goal. You can also say every day I must pray before opening my office or my career or my job or starting my work. And that's why for us at Optiven, we say we have a goal that every morning we must have a devotion. Whether it is raining, whether it is foggy, whether it is hot, the goal of having devotion every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's mandatory. It is already set there. It's a spiritual goal for the organization. Very, very important. Some other people say, every day in the morning, I'll wake up 30 minutes earlier to read the Word of God. 30 minutes earlier to read a chapter or 2 every day, or 4 days in a week. So when you set this spiritual goal, you have written it, you have to really follow it up. It is not easy. Not easy to follow these spiritual goals. Sometimes people follow a week. The second week, they are fainting. And it's my prayer that all of us, we can be able to follow this spiritual goal. Another important goal, this is very key, especially for both personally and families, the financial goals. The financial goals. We are living in a situation whereby life is running so fast. Right now, January is coming to an end. Very soon, will be in February. Very soon, you'll be 60. Very soon you'll be 80, then 90. You cannot walk properly. You need to be supported. Do you have a retirement goal under financial goals? Think about your retirement. They say if you want to sort out your retirement, you have to save at least 15% of your income. After tying 10%, 15%. And this 15%, you can say a portion of it goes to the insurance. Because remember, as we become older, as the years progresses, the energy reduces. As the energy reduces, what is going to happen? Our parents were depending on us for support. The current generation, watakwambia ujipange. One time I was in the US, and we had this friend of mine with 2 daughters. And this friend of mine was a bit elderly. And when she was walking, she broke her leg. And then she decided to call the daughter for support. And then the daughter responded on phone, not even visiting. Hey, mom, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. When you break your leg, can you go to the hospital? I'm not a doctor. And that was the conversation. So we as Kenyan people, we are heading to that direction, that very soon we'll be very old. Our children, they'll be too busy exploring how to fly to the moon, exploring how the world is going. And I can tell you, lazima tujipange. Think about your retirement and a financial goal. Think about savings. There's a formula I give people on savings, because there's a big topic on savings. I tell people, if you want to conquer this goal of financial goal, more so when you're saving, use this formula. It has worked for me. It has worked for many people. I call it 70, 10, 10, 10. 70, 10, 10, 10. 10% basically is the tithe. I'm happy I'm preaching to the converted, because majority of us are Christians. I teach this even to people who are non-Christians. 10% is tithe. This is money that does not belong to you. You need to take it where it belongs. If you eat it, it will eat up your resources. Either hospital bills, either things will happen. So 10% to the owner, the father. 10% your savings. If you cannot do 15%, please, minimum 10%, put it into savings. Another 10%, sort out your insurance. I don't know whether America, if is around, that's the time you need to see her. 10%, sort out your insurance. Then 70%, spoil yourself. Buy that shoe, the pointed one for our ladies. For the men, go to the shop, buy a suit, pay your rent. Now 70% you have it, enjoy it the way you want. And I want to speak to young people. There is no much money, no little money. Even if today you are earning 15,000, you can still apply 70, 10, 10, 10. Because if you cannot apply it, it means even the time you earn 500,000, you will not be able to recognize this formula. I can tell you this. Financial goal. Number 3, you need to tell your money where to go. Oh my goodness. Most of us, they are told by money where the money has gone. It is you to tell your money where to go. If you don't do the budget, where will the money go? And I am telling you, the money will fly. I've seen some people, after 8 months, by 15th, they are following. And by the way, some people, I used to work for a supermarket when I was young. And this supermarket was owned by a Muindi. So every month we are paid. But the 15th, the Muindi will open a shop, a window next to the cashier for us to take advance. My salary was 18,000. So every 15th, I take advance of 9,000. So end of the month, my salary is 9,000. And that was a trend. And it was a very dangerous trend. You know why? The money was telling me where to go, instead of me telling the money where it should go. Why? No budget. Majority of us, they don't budget at all. Whatever comes, hey, Chris, to me and Giri, and then you send. And the person you're sending doesn't even say thank you. So 1,000 is gone. Somebody says, send me 500. 500 gone. You know why? You have no budget. 70, 10, 10, 10. Go try it. If it doesn't work, please come and speak to me. Talk to me, because I know it works. For the couples, man, this is interesting. You need to do joint budgeting. And that's what I do with my wife, Mary. Every end of the month, because I'm paid salary by Optiven, we sit down and say, this money, where is it going? We do the budgeting. How much goes to the investment? How much money goes to the insurance? How much money goes to different areas, to education? We plan together. We sit over coffee and we plan together. However, most of us, especially men, mshahara ikishaingia, kwanza gari inajazwa petroli, petroli imejaa. Ndio sasa unapigia, hey, Pastor Joe, uko wapi? Niaje? Can we meet at Oreseren? Already, you're already spending your money because you don't do joint budgeting. It helps. By 15th, quarrels in the house. Hakuna chumvi, wewe, papa fulani. wewe William, hakuna nini, hakuna chumvi, hakuna sukari. Saa hiyo wewe you are applying for advance, unadua hapana, apply sako, because you did not do what? Joint budgeting. Remember, when you open up as a couple, when you open up, mwingine anasema wanafisha hata pesa. When you open up as a couple, even the fight reduces, because you know you add this, you add this, this is the joint one. By the way, for us, myself and Mary and myself, the time my salary was below 30,000. Her salary was 15,000. And we could say, okay, let's put the money together and then give an allowance. Me, I used to be given an allowance of 3,000. Now, you don't spend a lot, wewe. Ukunywi, wewe, gumtatu dio yako. Na yeye anasema mimi niko na nywele, mimi ni giriine. You know, with that one, we don't ask each other. The other one, we now do what? We combine. And let me tell you, that has been a game changer. We have invested as individuals, not as Optiven, as individuals, because of this. I remember one time you were buying a house in the Commonwealth. You know, 1999, the house was 1.9. And we could do it together. Every single coin, we bring it together. Why? Financial goal. Please, I want to urge the young couples, the young people, please, usifishe payslip. Toa. Because that one can make your family stand. Financial goals. Get a good debt. Get a good debt. The other day I went to a workshop somewhere and I saw this man who condemned the people who borrow. In fact, he said, people who borrow, they go to hell. Nikasema, wewe, do you want our banks to collapse? Bank needs people to borrow money and do business. And when I say go out there and borrow, not borrowing to eat the money, not for consumables. You borrow and do business. I call it good debt. There is good debt and bad debt. When you borrow, I'm not talking about Furisa, I'm talking about Hasrafat. I'm talking about you borrow that money and do business with it and calculate. The money is coming at maybe 15%. You must do business that give you maybe 29%. And those businesses are there. You can be able to turn around every week and then get your margin. So there is always good debt. So not all debt that is bad. Of course, be careful. You don't borrow left, right, and center. Lazima ujipange. Set an emergency fund. Hallelujah. Emergency fund. Now, many of us now, our emergency fund is WhatsApp. Nishangie, WhatsApp. Fundraising on a WhatsApp. Everywhere. Before the WhatsApp brought this idea of you must be invited, I was in trouble. Every day, I could get like 15 people inviting me. My shosho died. My nephew did what? Somebody going to Canada. Fundraising. And who unto you if you lose a job? They say for you to set up an emergency fund, you must have some money somewhere that can take you at least 6 to 9 months. And that money must be 6 times more than your usual spending. If your usual spending is 10,000, the emergency fund must be 60,000. So calculate your expenses times 6. That is the money should be hidden, kept somewhere. Because you never know, jobs come and go, you know, business come and go. Have an emergency fund. And then medical aid is around. Please have insurance. Have a medical cover. Even those who are doing informal businesses.
Sir George.
Yes.
Is saving in SACCO and emergency fund?
Saving in a SACCO is more of a planning for your investment. This emergency fund is somewhere whereby if you get very urgent need, within 48 hours, you can access it. Within 48 hours, you can access it. SACCO, before you access your capital, man, you must talk to the chairman first. That's about financial goal. I am told my time is running on well. Goal number 3 that we must also have is career goals. Our career goals. I saw some research somewhere that about 67% of the people, they do jobs. They are in jobs they don't like. You wake up in the morning on Monday morning, you are already bored. Then you are stretching because you don't want to go to that office. You are doing a job you don't like. Ask yourself this evening, are you doing a job you don't like? This is my advice. Resign tomorrow. Look for a job that you like doing. When you go to that office, say, hallelujah, this is Optiven. I am happy to be here. And the people who stray or do jobs they don't like, what happens? They are always under stress. they have a negative attitude, they will never be happy. Career goals. Target the right job. The young guys who are looking for jobs, target the right job. Define it so well. Those who are going to university and those who are taking their children to the university, please do not force your child to do a career that the child does not like. They go to the university, they will deliver that certificate to you, Chris. So allow your children to be themselves. Some want to be artists. That's their career goal. Some of them want to be DJ. That's their career goal.
Yeah,
Don't force it. Because at the end of the day, atakusomea, atakuletea hapo. Those who are now looking for jobs and want to change jobs, look at your CV. You know, sometimes you do a lot of interviews at Optiven. Sometimes you find CVs with no referees, CVs with no contact number, CVs with funny emails, Chico app. If you want to fly high on career goal, please look at your CV and refine it, make it nice, make it better. And if you want to see an example of a good CV, you can go to my blog, www.georgewachiuri.com. My CV is uploaded there. You can see the format is clean, is clear. Although now I'm getting a lot of issues because people think I'm looking for a job and I'm getting all offers across the world. I think I need to remove it soon, but you can pick it. I think it's there. Career goals. Look at this. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Man, ask yourself that question. Write it down. Do you want to be the MD, the founder, the CEO? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Do you want to be a manager? Do you want to be a supervisor? Where do you want to be? Do you want your business to triple? I don't know whether Kutu is here. He's opening a new office in Machakos. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Career goals. Career goals. And for you to hasten the career goals, there's a secret I tell people that I mentor. Please look for a mentor. Find a mentor. A person you say, hey, I want to be like Chris. I want to be like Janet. I want to be like Peter Mwendwa. Find that mentor. Speak to those people. Once you speak to them, you don't need to go through experience. Experience is painful. Mentorship is easier. Find a mentor for you to get more steps in terms of career goals. Wow. Ask yourself, what do you see? If you ask me, hey, George, what do you see by the year 2041? By the year 2041, what I see Optiven in over 20 African countries. That's what I see. Wow. The year 2041. So excellent. The same with all of us. Lazima uone, you have to project 10 years, 20 years, so that you're able to get that energy. Number 4, I hope I'm doing on time, is intellectual goals. Intellectual goals. Intellectual goals. Somebody told me that if you stop learning, you start dying. If you stop learning, I can see we have doctors here, professors here. The time you stop learning, you start dying off. That's why we ask people, keep learning. Listen to those videos. Read books. Proverbs 1:5 says, a wise man will hear and increase learning. A wise man will always hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain a wise counsel. That means as you learn, you become wiser. Matters business, matters career, matters family. However, most of us, when we finish school, university, PhD, that's the end of learning. No, it is not. You have to keep upgrading your upstairs. Take a class of something that you love. Just take a class. Read a book there. You know, you can even order. Personally, I'm an author. You know, I've authored 3 books now. There's one I'm launching next month. It's called After the Pledge. There's a partnership we did that went awful. So I've documented how that partnership went bad. So author a book, write a book, so that even the time you are gone to be with Abraham, people can read about Walter Orlando. They can read about you. One of the things we have with Africa, we don't document our stories. We have beautiful, beautiful stories. Walakini, we don't document. So when you go home, when you go to heaven, nobody both knows about you other than your family. They just see your grave there, nobody else. But when you write a book like this one of the books I've written, even the time I'm there doing ushering in heaven, people will be reading about a fellow who was born in Kieni in a poor family, and the fellow who also offered 30,000 opportunities in a company called Optiven. This is one of the nice books that you've not read it, you read it and you cry. It's a good book. We've read at 1,000, and once you pay the money, you pay to the foundation. You can write, you can author. And when I look at all of you, Yeah, Wekesa, you have a story. Yeah, you have a story. You can tell it. When I see Janet here, you have a story. You can tell it, and that's the only way we can be able to move forward in terms of the matters, intellectual goal setting, intellectual goals. Finally, the fitness goal. This is where the rubber meets the tarmac. Well, I don't want to ask questions. How many people did
Usiulize.
in the morning? Hapo ndio tunafika mtihani. Please, how many people did walk in the morning? Did you walk in the morning? Fitness. Did you walk? Did you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out? Or you woke up, did a shower, rushed to the office, seated there the whole day. Now there's a Zoom meeting in the evening. You are seated. Fitness goal. It is very key. They say when you exercise, even your own mind rises up. And they say part of the fitness goal is getting enough sleep. When I was younger, when I was doing mentorship, when I was a bit younger man, I was saying, if you want to be successful, you have to work for many hours, only sleep 4 hours. Now I have erased that gospel, and I discovered you need to sleep 7 to 8 hours for you to be productive. Otherwise, I have my own friend of mine, and it's a true story. He had a stroke at age 42. So when he went to be checked, the only thing he lacked is sleep. This CEO was only sleeping 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. The body is a system. The guy just collapsed and died. So all of you who are listening to me, please have rest 7 to 8 hours. By the end of 8 hours, you are fresh, you are physically good, you can go out there. And those of us who are very busy, you have no time or space to exercise, and you are working on 10th floor, walk the stairs. Just walk the stairs. So Nagilai, next time, just walk back to his plaza, walk up to 14th floor. You are also exercising. Calm down. Don't just press the lift every time you lift. No. Fitness goal. Then finally, family goals. Family goals. This is where things happen. Family goals, you involve your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your children. These are family goals. Some of these family goals, we ask ourselves, do we have a relationship with our parents? And this goal says, call your father or your mother, if you are not orphaned like me, call your father or mother at least once a week. And let me tell you, if you don't do that, you have children. Utakuwa ukilia, hawachukui simu, hawashiki simu, hawapigi simu. When my mother was alive, every week I was calling her when I'm free because she had a lot of stories. Now I also have my mother-in-law. I ensure a text, a call. Parents value children's calls. So they value it, they love it, they like it. Keep that relationship, call them up. Family goals. Some of us, we are couples, we work differently. Do you send a text at least once a day to your spouse? Ama ni jioni, uko wapi? Niko kwa traffic. Wapi? Hapa kwa traffic. Where? There is expressway. Chukua expressway. You have not communicated the whole day. Now, that's not a good family goal. A good family goal is keeping in touch. Your own children, especially fathers, make a goal, make a plan whereby you visit your children in school, especially when they have events. Let me tell you a story. Me, I was a very bad father when I was young. I had no time. I was working for an NGO. I had no time for my children. My wife used to go to all the schools for kids event. Until one time I attended a class called parenting. And I discovered if you don't attend children events, you lose it. Even the time they are old, they will never recognize you. You are there as a father, but you don't participate in their school events. Sometimes break the rule. Drop them to school. Take them to school. Have time with them. That's a family goal. Discuss with them even the issues of money. How was the school? How is the relationship? What is disturbing you? Be there with them. That's a family goal. Stay involved in the activities. Be there. Take them for coffee. Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. let me tell you a story. For us this year, we have been discussing on how we should be having a dinner with the family or coffee with the family, because sometimes they are too busy. It's December. You are remembering that, oh, I have never had a time with my family, and this is the time also to plan for a trip. I believe that every member who is here, you should be able to afford at least a trip to Naivasha, a trip to Nyeri, a trip to Mombasa with the family. Not the one paid by the company, like the one Nagirai went for Optiven. They went to Mombasa for 4 days, no team building, kukula tu, kukunywa na kucheza kwa maji. Sio hiyo, not that one. I'm talking about a plan for your family. You say, Easter, we are going somewhere. Christmas, tunaenda mahali. As a family, it is extremely important. Remember, work will never end. Kazi haiishi, sisi ndio tunaisha. So we must plan for your family. Allow me to do a bonus, then I stop there. I don't know how much time I have now. Social goals. Social goals. Let me ask you a question, please. How many real friends do you have? I mean real, not colleagues. Real friends. Ask yourself, how many real friends?
Hiyo ni ngumu.
Somebody can pick a phone, please, and tell them, hey, hello, give me 10,000. They won't ask you, ni ya kufanya nini, ni ya kudu. No.
Ama utarudisha lini?
Exactly. How many? Social goals. And we must be intentional to look for the real, true friends. Somebody you can pour yourself. When you have challenges, you can tell them. It is very important. Social goal. Have those friends that are true friends. A friend that you call for a boozy. That's why I love the men of glory. You know, once in a while, tunakulaga boozy. We want to see, are there people who can be closer than just the boozy event? Very, very important. They say, somebody told me, you need to look at your past and change your future. Look at your past and change your future. The reason we have this particular show is because we are looking at the past. Can we change the year 2023 to be a better year, more social year, that we are able to create and develop new friends that we can share our dark moments, our biggest accomplishments. I remember one time I lost a lot of money, and I lost all the friends, all of them, and had only 2 friends, you know, my own pastor, Bishop Katutu, and my wife. All the rest, they flew, yani, like pigeons. They ran away. And I discovered sometimes you don't even need money. You only need someone to call you. Hey, hi, Chris, are you okay? How are you doing? Hey, Pastor Joe, how is it going? Just that, not even the money. And the time you are doing so well, you have many, many friends. The time you go down, they disappear. But we have a responsibility, a social goal, to identify 2 or 3 close people that you can disclose. I think I'll put a comma there on goal setting, and then put a challenge. You know, I used to be a teacher, and every time a teacher finishes, the teacher gives assignment. I want to put a challenge to all of us. Can we look for a nice black book, you know, a nice family black book, whereby you write down all those 7 themes of goals and involve your spouse, involve your children, and once in a while, you could be reviewing how you are doing. You know, I assume that everybody of us does generalizing, and you keep reviewing quarterly, semi-annually, end of the year. And once you do that, I tell you, success is going to be your third name. It is possible, it is doable. You get results, you get a reason to work harder, you be motivated, and I can tell you, you shall also attract resources. As long as these goals are positive, they are personal, it's going to be possible for you to achieve much more than anybody else. Remember, life always gives you a fresh start. Anytime you choose to start afresh, life will always give you a fresh start. Anytime you choose to start afresh, I urge all of you, let us start afresh, and life will give us better things. I'll put a comma there, and back to the facilitator.
That was a loaded evening. That was a loaded 40 minutes or so Sir George, we thank you for just pouring out your heart to us. You're always authentic and genuine, just saying as it is, whether it was bad or good, because you allow us to learn from your experiences. And I've learned a lot, some very challenging. I know I have what I need to pick to work on. There's something I'm working on. I need to review how it is looking. And I thank you because of that last comment, that life always gives you a fresh start when you choose to start afresh. So the power is in our hands. The year is started, 26 days gone, but it is possible to have a fresh start. I just want to look through the comments and see if we have any questions. I see Gladys Kamau all the way from Birmingham City, UK, saying joint budgeting. Richard, spiritual goals. And I liked how you broke it down in terms of real practical things we can do. Reading a chapter every day can be a spiritual goal. You know, I sometimes I heard someone who said they have read the Bible, they read the Bible every year 4 times. And that can really make someone feel like they're not spiritual when you hear that. But it's okay. You can read your chapter a day. And that's a smart goal. So thank you. Chris also saying spiritual goals. 1 and 2, I think they were all posted. And our friend Alfred Muse, all the way from Kikuyu, you got all the goals. And we'll also share this recording. Don't kill yourself. I think that was my comment. Set realistic and achievable goals, because that spoke to me, that sometimes we do that. Sir George, I want you to speak to a question as I look through. How do you avoid competition and what we used to call living up to the Joneses in your goals that makes you keep getting derailed? You had set goals to buy your first Vitz, which is a big goal. You know, I remember, Sir George, this is interesting, and I know my wife will forgive me for this. When we were married, one of the goals we had when we had our first black book, I think we need to go back to the black book, was to buy a good radio. Actually, it was very specific. Buy a good radio for the house, because we didn't have any as a new couple. And we went to Equity Bank and we did something called Jijenge account. We're putting some money every month that you can't withdraw. And after 12 months, we withdrew, and we went to that time Tuskys and bought a good radio, and we ticked. So I was planning to buy a good radio. Then I see my neighbor has bought a car. How do I remain focused and avoid keeping up with the Joneses?
Well, thank you, Pastor Joe. Yes, this is a very good question. How to avoid competition? You know, I'll give you a story. Today, we were doing some interviews. We were interviewing for marketers. And for us at Optiven, we have a rule. We have an agreement that we'll never pick staff from people who we do the same business. We don't call it competition. We call it people we complement each other. And there's this gentleman who came, very good, very nice, intelligent, sharp. But we have that rule that we don't want to deplete the people that are doing the same business with us. And one of the things that you can do to avoid this kind of unhealthy competition, or feeling that you are less, you know, somebody bought a Range Rover, you have a Beat, somebody bought a Premium, you have a lesser one, is that always remain humble. The reason why people compete, they want to show off. Let me tell you a secret. The showing off is very expensive. It is very expensive to show off, because you need resources. You want people to recognize you. But if you're just a humble person, whether you are walking, whether you have a Vitz, you are yourself. Be humble. Yeah. Number 2, all the time, compete with yourself. Never compete with the people. Make yourself a better person. Compete with yourself. When you compete with yourself, you can only go up, because you have no benchmark that you are checking. And that's why for us, we say that if you come to us and say, you know, I am coming here, I'll help you beat competition. No. We have no competition. We compete with ourselves. Number three, we say that if you want to handle this thing called competing with each other, it's what I tell people to have something I call the growth mindset. The growth mindset, that there is always an opportunity next door. There's an opportunity within. There's an opportunity around you. It's all in the mind, the growth mindset. And when you have a growth mindset, even the time you try something, you fail. It is not a failure. It is an opportunity to do something better. Growth mindset. I also talk about the abundance mentality. The abundance mentality.
Yeah.
There is enough for everyone. Everyone. There is enough for everyone. So competition can be rendered irrelevant. Kabisa. It can be irrelevant. And what's more, we are all different. We were born different days, different hour. Once we realize that, we shall never be bothered about competition. We compete with ourselves.
Wow. Amazing. And I know you always talk about abundance mentality, because that's what brings unnecessary competition. When people think what is there is not enough for all of us. And then you start even killing each other for what is already enough. Sometimes I marvel at people fighting over a lot of wealth left to them, that if they just sat down soberly, they will have enough to live on for a lifetime. Abundance mentality. We have a question all the way from Rwanda, and that question is from JC, and he's saying, what should I consider when reviewing or revising my goals? What goes into goal review, the quarterly review, the monthly reviews, the annual reviews?
Yeah, when you want to review your goals, of course, when you set up these specific, measurable, achievable, the SMART goals, they are very specific. Maybe you can say, I want to be saving 10,000 every month. Maybe you want to review in June. So by June, you are supposed to have saved 60,000. And you only discover you have saved 5,000. So you're doing so badly. In your review, it is 5/60. So you have achieved very little percentage,
Yeah.
And then you say, wow, I think I'm lagging behind with my goal setting. Maybe you say, my family will be having a dinner once a month. You are in June, semi-annual review. And you discover, what? We have been too busy. We have only done 2 dinners for 6 months. That means you have done not too good, because that is 1/3 of your goal achievement. That's how you review. You check what you set and how much have you achieved. Sometimes people do review and they give up. They say, the savings one is not possible. 70, 10, 10, 10 is not possible. I have not done my tithe for the last 3 months. Okay, 9 months, I won't do any tithe. No. Even the time you lag behind, please catch up. Once you catch up, even if you don't achieve 100% by year end, if you only achieve 80%, that's an A. Yeah, a true A, not the cosmetic one. A true A, yes.
Great. Now there's someone who said, if the money you have can't help you, eat it. Don't give up and eat the money. I mean, just pick yourself up and move on. I see Pastor Justin saying, we also had a radio goal, and we have a radio 23 years later. Congratulations, my fellow radio goal. We have Steve Madenge. Yeah, these small things. Now you can have an helicopter goal on Jesse, as a canner. Is there an age where it could be hard or impossible to get a mentor in these matters? And what's the thin line between a mentor and a role model?
Wow, you can. I know some people say that they're not able to get mentors, but mentors are people that you really admire. You want to meet them, you want to ask them questions. And mentors can be virtual, they can also be physical mentors. If you ask me, hey, George, who are your mentors? I'll tell you straight. Dr. James Mwangi, Manu Shadaria because of philanthropy, James because of taking risk, and then you have Vimarsha for corporate business that he supports other SMEs. These are physical mentors. You can also have virtual mentors. My virtual mentor is John Maxwell, reading my books, listening to his videos. That's my virtual mentor. The role model is the person you really admire. You may not even talk to them. You say, hey, me, I want to be like Joe Alando. That's my role model. So, and the way Joe dresses, I want to dress like him. The way Joe speaks, I want to speak like Joe, because he is my role model. Mentors are also very disciplined people. And I always advise people when I mentor them, I tell them, when you go to mentor somebody who is your mentor, don't go to borrow money. Don't go to give stories. Go there straight with questions. Question number 1, number 2, number 3, you are seeking advice. Otherwise, if you mix mentorship with friendship, with following, with everything, it's going to be messy. And those people, they'll either block you, you not see them, because they know wewe ni sumbua. Kwa mentor, usiwe sumbua. Go there straight. Pick a thing or two. One time I was very challenged by business, and I looked for this guy called Dr. Wale Akinyemi. And then I told him, I just want your 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. And they said, okay, fine, 5 minutes. Of course, when we met, told me, I'll give you 10 minutes. So don't go there to spend an hour later. Unasema sorry. No, those are mentors. They need to be taken care of. But role models, you can have as many. These are just for your demand. You want to be a musician. Nataka kuwa Samindo. Mimi, my role model is Samindo. Be careful. Be careful. Even those role models, especially for young guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I don't know if you really answered the one on, is there any age where you, I think I can put it like, is there an age where you don't need a mentor? The question was, is there an age where it could be hard or impossible to get a mentor in these matters?
I believe that everybody requires a mentor, including our president, Dr. Ruto. The other day he mentioned about his mentors. Everybody needs a mentor, because you are not, you don't know everything. There are things you do not know that you can inquire about, and the mentor gives you straight. Sometimes it's not the good news. They will tell you the truth. You know, you have a question about business, they will tell you the pain of failing. You know, they will tell you the truth. They will tell you, don't step here, step there. So at any age group, even our own Pastor Jassy, you require a mentor.
Wow, thank you. I see Mrs. Kiwia saying unity in the family is important for the other goals to be achieved. All right, because how can two work together unless they are agreed? If there is no unity, then there will be competition, of course, and people will be pulling from different directions. There's a question about what are the best saving plans. I think, Jennifer, we can link you up with Mary. Maybe Sir George will mention one or two, but Mary, check on that chat and direct mail Jennifer, because I know you have the solutions. But Sir George, you can just make a comment about saving plans.
Yes, there are various options of savings plans. You can either decide to do a fixed deposit if you are risk averse. There are people who don't want to lose a coin. Yani, they are risk averse. If you are a risk taker, you can buy stocks. You know, you can buy a unit trust. You can go to money markets, depending on the appetite of the risk. And I'm sure that we are financial experts in this forum that can be able to guide you if you want to invest in different platforms. There are other people who say, hey, for me, I want to do an investment 10 years long term. Those kind of people, we tell them, come, we sell you a property in Malindi, keep it 10 years, you do 1,000 times. I'm sure there are many people who have done that in Syokimau, in Kitengela, whereby they put money in land and then they wait for 10, 20 years, they make their money. So there are various options of investment or savings that maybe if you are serious, I've seen a number of us here, they are experts, like now Mary on insurance. They are experts that you can be able to be advised appropriately. And yes, and diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You can diversify. Have a property there, have a fixed deposit there, have an insurance there. You can be able to diversify, regardless of the amount.
No amount is too small to start. Actually, most of the investment or savings vehicles, they tell you can even do 100 shillings because there's power in compounding and building what you want. So thank you for that. No amount is too small. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we can only go on and on and on, and time is up. And we want to thank you, Sir George, in terms of your times and in terms of your knowledge that you have shared with us and the wisdom that we have gleaned. And I like that in the hierarchy of the goals you gave us today, the spiritual goal was goal number 1. And then we had the goal on family. And at this point, I want to tell us that we also help you, our listeners and our viewers, to achieve one of those goals. I will take my wife out for a lover's dinner at least 3 times a year. One of them is sorted by us every February. We have done this for over 14 years without fail. Even when we had COVID, we have always held a lover's dinner because we know this is a very important goal that you have to keep and you have to maintain. So join us on 18th of February. That is next month, 18th of February, at the Panari Hotel for a sizzling hot lovers dinner where you and your loved one can tick off one of those great goals of the year of just taking out each other. And the good thing is you'll be able to combine that with even social goals, network with other couples, learn from one another. So pay up, pay bill number 522522, and the account number is 643643 #. Then you say dinner, and we will contact you and we will book that double seat for you and your loved one. Don't miss out. We have few slots remaining, and our lovers dinners are always the talk of town because we attract even international guests that join us for the lovers dinner.